Welcome, friends. It's good seeing you. My name is Remaliah Should, and I caused a minor kitchen incident today. I, let's, sorry, in turning off the music, I found it, the YouTube front page showed me a thing that I actually wanted to look at, so I put it on the watch later. Everything's okay. I said the scary thing and then went off into a tangent, and I apologize for that. Um, Everything is okay. I tried to do some deep frying of tofu, which worked. I did deep fry the tofu. I turned the heat up too high on the heater and created more smoke than I was comfortable with. It's all exhausted from the apartment now, so that's good. There was not a fire of any kind. Uh, just a little, just everything's just slightly more greasy for having touched it. It's okay. So that's how my day is gone. I hope your day is going all right. I'm going to do some art, I think. I'm going to try to, certainly. What the hell happened to my, what the hell happened to my stylus? There you are. I wanted to do an art stream, and I didn't necessarily want to do the thing I usually do where I take suggestions. I wanted to do something for me, I think, a little bit. And nothing I feel is more me than doing a bunch of self-indulgent character portraits. So that's what I'm doing. Just let me hit some buttons real quick and bring up Krita or Kirita or Krita. Still don't know. Never heard it pronounced. Someone could inform me if you wanted. Let's just hit new image. Okay, no, not 1024 by 1024. Let's do a 16 by 9. It doesn't need to be in 4K, but whatever, it's in 4K because that's the preset. I can just make the thing bigger. All right, now we hit the live. There we go. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to get through. I'm going to try to not be precious about it and go like reasonably fast because I want to see exactly how many characters I can do in one go, in one like 3-hour session or however long this is. 8 o'clock to 11, that's 3 hours. Um, but I'm gonna do some OCs. I'm gonna do some like character portraits from D&D characters that we had forever ago if we get around to it. I'm gonna see how it goes. Mostly this started off because I wanted to draw Jasmine because I haven't drawn Jasmine in forever, and I miss her a little bit. I sometimes think about how much it would cost to get an armadillo skull in the house and paint it. Um, the answer is more than I can justify spending on something like that in one go. Oh, I should probably get some music on, shouldn't I? That's going to help. That's going to help me just a little bit. I'm going to move that over here so that you don't. Uh, not that I have anything to be ashamed of on it, but my homepage. Oh, it's that Yngwie Malmsteen video. The arpeggios. I don't know how he is as a person. I'm unbelievably impressed by Yngwie Malmsteen as a guitarist, however. Do I have a music playlist that isn't going to get the stream muted? And I think the answer to that is no, but let me look anyway. Oh, I could just bring up one of the other syncopes one, shouldn't I? I've been using syncope for stream opening music these last few times. I like syncope. I'm just going to go ahead and use the 1 hour of free post-punk beats. There we go. We'll see how that goes. I could probably afford to turn it down just a little bit to let it be more background music as it is designed to be. How does that look on stream? Quite loud. Still, yeah. Cut it down just a little bit more. Not a lot bit more, but just a little. And then let's get into jazz. Jasmine's an armadillo. There's my painting, where's my brush? There you are. Good old dry bristles. How do I want to paint you? Bottom of, well, actually, let's get a background in there a little bit. Not a lot of a background. There's a good spot to put Jasmine. On stage, obviously. What am I thinking? So we're gonna just slap some, no, a little bit darker than that. There we go. This is gonna look bad because I've never in my life, considering how much I try to do this thing have figured out how the fuck to make perspective on a stage from an angle like this work. I keep trying to like do the thing where POV you are in the audience looking at the thing that is happening on stage. But I can never get the perspective right, and it always like trips me up. So you can go like that. Would you get some just good old-fashioned red curtains? Yeah, red curtains, I think. I'll just put the color block in and I'll fuck around with the way it looks later. I am unfortunately a devil that cares very much about the details. But sometimes you just gotta run that thing. It's like, I can't be too precious about this. Otherwise, it's just never gonna get done. Here we go. Probably not how it should look, but it should be a little more. Be a little less wavy. Not wavy. Yeah, there we go, like that. Get back to that red and sort of round out some. What the fuck do you call this? Ruffles, I suppose. Round out some ruffles on the bottom of the thing. Do that. Yeah, that almost looks like drapes or curtains. Take a little bit darker of a red to sort of make shadows where the ruffles are ruffling in on themselves. And it is always sad when you see a ruffle in on itself. No? Why'd you do that? Jasmine. If you're unfamiliar with her, and perhaps you are not familiar with her, is a country western musician who's also a mutated armadillo. That we played in After the Bomb campaign sometime back. I was about to say she likes shotguns. She doesn't. She likes singing. She'll use shotguns. Okay, that's about as good as that needs to be. Getting our much lighter color for the Dillo space. How big do you need to be? I want to get you basically the whole size of the thing and really have space to look at you. But do I want to center you? Or do I need you over on the side? Well, fine. Let's be fancy and put in another paint layer so I don't have to worry about going over the background too hard. Yeah, that's sort of what an armadillo looks like. It's almost what an armadillo looks like. Sort of go like that. Yeah, that's just a little bit too round on this side. Let's thin that out. There we go. More like that. Like I said, I'm not trying to go too fast. Neither do I wish to go very slow. I just want to kind of give this the time to make it look a little good. Hello, Lucretia. Thanks for stopping in. I decided to paint Jasmine today. Among a few other folks, but I'm starting with Jasmine. Get a darker brown for the shell. That. The top of the head is also shelled. Most of the nose. I hope your day's been well. No. Here's my favorite part, having to remember what the fuck a cowboy hat looks like. Cowgirl hat? Cow armadillo hat. Oh, what the hell happened? Hey, where'd he go? I hit a button that took my cursor away. I don't know why it did that. If I change... Okay. If I change brushes, it goes back to working. I'm not sure why that is. Looks more like a fedora. I'm just kind of gonna have to live with that, I think. I don't know, I think if I make the brim big enough, it'll read as cowboy hat just on the 10-gallon nature of it. That looks more fedora. That looks like John's dad. There we go. Yeah, okay, like that. Kind of gonna leave some space between that so I can remember where the crown is versus the brim, because I need to put the sort of ribbon accent on it. There we go. Oh, mirror. Crank that down just a little bit so we can put in like the top divot on the hat, some shadow in back here because that's where the back of the hat is. Your day was nice. I got to see a boy I loved for a bit. I'm very glad for you. I've also been trying to find romance novels that I would like, but that's quite difficult. What are you finding difficult about that? Is it just sort of the way that romance is in popular media? Something that I myself find frustrating sometimes. I give you like basically no legs. I guess armadillos don't really have legs in the way that humans do. This is how I've always drawn Jasmine, is with this sort of like vest on that goes underneath the shell somehow. And I'm not really sure how or if that works. I suspect it doesn't, but get your flowers on the vest. And those should be smaller. Not a lot smaller, but some smaller. So the petals can look a little more distinct. There we go. That's what I should be doing, just making like ovals instead of trying to like the first trouble is that all of them are about humans, and the other trouble is I would like to be able to find protagonists who are about my size and age. Yeah. Those are all very fair criticisms. I don't necessarily want to step onto my soapbox about this. Partially because it's shit that's probably better said by other people, but the way that like youth is prioritized in, I don't know, I guess I'm going to use the word romance culture even though I don't necessarily know what I mean by that. The way that youth and thinness and the whole that like it's body image issues all the way down. There we go. I think I don't remember Jasmine having pants, so I'm not going to give her any. She's just kind of Donald ducking it. Does have tiny little boots though, with heels on. I'm gonna cheat and give Jazz a like Sonic the Hedgehog mouth over here on the side. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I forgot that Jasmine's a hairy armadillo. Hang on, easily fixable. We do that just like this. Hairy, screaming armadillo. Have you found any luck, or taking just a moment to rest the arm, have you had any luck finding anything that suits your needs a little better? I sort of, if I had sat and thought about it for a while, I think I would have assumed that there were a certain degree of furry romance novels out there. How in hell do you hold guitar? Up here, except she is holding a ukulele, so it's a little closer into the chest. Okay. So I'm just gonna go down that way. come back up. Ooh, not quite that angle. Actually, back up here. And we're not going to see most of the other arm because it's coming around, but it's just going to be the hand about like that. I probably should have put the guitar in first. That's gonna look a little wonky, and that's just something that's true. I almost know what a ukulele looks like. It's almost like this. I'll just redraw your hands over the strings here in a second. There's the sound hole the sound comes out of. That's a little bit Picasso, but that's fine. I feel like I'm only able to find one or two of the few categories I'm looking for at once. Nothing's fitting the Venn diagram of older people, larger people, Inhumans. There you go. Let's engage in some thickness just for a second. Just kind of let everything color pop just a little more. Well, there we go. That makes it look much more like a thing that exists. Not gonna give Jazz individual hands or individual fingers on the hands right now. If I go back and clean this up, maybe I will, but for right now I just... needed to be roughly holding the thing. I'm also looking for dominant women, which further narrows down the selection. Damn. I don't mean this as a pun, but you are trying to find a unicorn a little bit as it is presented. Not that you're wrong for that. There should be romance novels for basically every body type because everybody falls in. Well, that's not true. A vast swath of the of persons upon the planet wish for some sort of romance, falling under the spectrum of every age, gender, size, and any other variable you would wish to put on a person. Thinking about it now, I am finding it not surprising, honestly, but strange that it is not easier to find media that suits to taste. There's definitely some asshole out there in the world who is trying to make that a thing using using like LLM writing, and saying that has frustrated me to no end. I've made myself mad. There we go. It's difficult even if you're sticking with human romance. Yeah. Serious jazz. Should I put auto in here too? In this moment, I do not even remember what instrument it was auto played. I almost want to say accordion. It's been a while. I'm just going to go ahead. Do it like this. There we go. Hey there. You are Fib, right? Please tell me if I have that wrong. Good evening to you as well, whoever you are. And I want to get a little bit of shine on her eyes for just a second. going on with that? Let's just zoom in. Fuck it. Go down like that. There we go. I'm just gonna re-export that. Yes, please. Please do that. My voice is muffled because I'm holding my stylus in my mouth while I manipulate things with the mouse. I don't need to. I can just set it down. But that seems to be the coward's option. I'd rather not. Well, let's just grab another one. Do I want to do Tabitha and Charlton? I think I do. I don't know what I want them doing. The suggestion September just threw at me was playing skee-ball. And honestly, I think yes. How the fuck does that look? Well, let's get the background in first. Get like that very, very deep blue color that arcade flooring is. Maybe about like that. Maybe about like that. This angle. So we're gonna see the skee ball properly. Maybe a little darker. Let's make that a little darker. There we go. Let's go ahead and make the thing big. Don't have to work on it too hard. Let's kind of even that out. It's not going to matter because of the way that I do art, but okay. And now I'm sitting here a little bit going, what the fuck does a skee ball machine look like? I can bring up reference, I guess. Let's do that, actually. Let's just fucking look it up. Skee ball. No, I don't need an AI overview for skee ball, thank you. Never do I want your AI overview. Okay, that's much lower to the ground than I would have thought. If I recall correctly, there's 3 concentric central circles and then 2 extra smaller circles at the upper right and left corners. That's what I'm seeing mostly. The design of the rings was not the thing that was tripping me. Just I was thinking more about what the lanes themselves looked like. The parts of the machine that are like closer to the ground. But they look like lanes look. It basically looks, for good reason, like a bowling alley with the bumpers on. So let's take up this. Yeah, very bright. It's gonna be interesting to fill in, but whatever. This perspective is gonna be bad. I'm warning right now, that's the perspective on this skee ball machine is not going to look good. I am middling with perspective at the best of times. And this is actually kind of uh, a rough angle I've set for myself, but here we are. Actually, let's just do it this way instead of trying to draw individual lanes, because you usually get skee balls in like a row like this. I appreciate your input. Thank you so much for it. Okay, like this? Yeah. Have I ever drawn Charlton and Tabitha on a stream or anything? I don't think I have. Charlton and Tabitha are my they are dating, Your Honor. OCs. That are modeled off of a painting that we have in our apartment and a plushie that we got. Thinner than that. Yeah, I like that. Probably about right. I'm doing better at this than I thought. Still not great. I think when I'm done with it, it's actually not going to look terrible. Third and fourth one in, are going to look relatively even. Yeah, relatively. That's a really severe cant that those ramps are at. That's fine. It's just like that. Grab that brown I used for the, there we go. For the Dillo. We'll cut it off right about here, actually, I think. And then there'll be the gutter, and then the part that actually ramps up to the thing. I'm gonna spend a lot more time drawing these fucking skee ball machines than I am the characters in front of them. I need to just sort of let this be abstract if I'm actually going to get to those two. I hope your day also has been good, Fit. Is it okay if I call you that? I should have asked previous to now. I cannot if there is something else you would like to be called. Sure, fine to be called that. Good. So, oops, that's just a little bit too much. It is fine. Yeah, that last one's gonna be a little... Gonna be just a little... That's okay. No, it doesn't look as bad as I thought it might. About like this. That almost looks right. That last... Here, hang on. Let's do it like this. Because that last lane both needs the angle to be sharper and the lane to be wider, so I'll just do that. That's an easy fix. There we go. Just like that. I should maybe process this out just a little bit better, but tonight is not necessarily about processes. I kind of wanted to fuck around. So yeah, here's the great big hoop. I don't think we're gonna see the Kind of looks like one of the tentacles from Day of the Tentacle, but that's okay. Let's fill this in, and I'll put something over here in a fucking second. Because otherwise that side's going to look far too empty, and I don't want that. But right now I actually just need to get started on the people. So how do I want y'all doing this? Here's the thing. The reason that I, like, was happy to jump with the, those lanes should be longer. Yeah, that's fine. The reason that I wanted to jump with the, I'll just make you smaller, I guess. Skee ball thing is because I absolutely had an, what do you call that? Is that I had an absolutely immediate vision of Charlton throwing the skee balls overhand. And I really just wanted to put that out there into the world. What is... Okay. I just threw a plastic fork across my room. To see how a throwing arm is supposed to look, but it's just gonna look like this. I only need so much actual torso, most of it's gonna be covered up by jacket. So, there you are. In your expensive coat that makes you look cooler than you really are. As the lady puts it. Ever played Deus Ex? This is kind of a generic question out into the world, but I would be happy to hear y'all's answer if you have played Deus Ex. A fantastic video system game. I wonder if it is still. I wonder if I would still go back and really, really enjoy it. There's definitely like some libertarianism in there somewhere. I remember it being pretty good overall. Big fucking rooster hairdo. Massive ass cartoon eyes. I guess you would have red. Eyebrows also. Oop. No, not quite like that. That's that brush just a little bit bigger. Here's some speed lines. You got to get your shoes on. There you go. Let's get Tabitha in. How does Tabitha roll her skee ball, I wonder? Let's have her on the one at the end. Just to give Harold and Tarleton a little bit of space. So the answer to the question, I think, is that she would like because she has tentacles, right? Hey, did I mention that she's like an illithid? So Tabitha's an illithid. And so she has tentacle arms, and so I think that she would be sort of windmilling her arms, scooping up the balls with the tentacles and swooshing them back out. But I think in this particular case, she is not doing that because she is looking over at her date friend going, why are you doing this? Lump in circumstance. What does your dress look in the back? Look at this, I guess. bottom of the dress is getting lost in the carpet a little bit, but I can fix that. Actually, I can fix that really quickly by just taking this and letting the bottom of the speedball machine extend just a little bit. There we go. I think that does it. She has one tentacle just sort of, well, I need to make that thinner so I can get the tentacle a little bit more, a little bit more rubbery a look. There we go. Sort of curls around the ball. I accidentally closed the stream, but I'm back now. Good to have you back. You haven't missed much in that I don't think what I'm doing is very much. I'm just sort of fretting over poses as I do. Thank you for stopping in. I think the last time you were in the live of one of our streams was me doing the Dragon Art stream that I did a while ago. What music am I playing? This is a playlist of songs by an artist called Syncope, that's S-I-N-C-O-P-E, who does music for does music available to license as well, but also puts out beats on YouTube for free. So that's what I'm using. And which has just run out. Unfortunately, there's another one, so I can just go ahead and click that. I came across them just at random from the YouTube like front page algorithm one day, and was like, oh, yeah. I'm gonna zoom in on you to make sure I can get your face really well. Like little tiny pupils like that. You need those to be bigger so that it can read properly. I mean, need to be just a little bit bigger, so like that. I should probably make them slightly more even. Oh, there we go. That's what that's supposed to look like. There's your... mouth squiggles. I think maybe not the spine one. Maybe yes, a little bit around the waist. I sort of went all buck cherry with that. Oops, no, not like that. There we go. I kind of fucked around with the... that back arm just a little bit. That's fine though. There we go. Her legs also squiddly tentacles. They're just more like feet. Need to fix that. Maybe take like 15% of that off. There we go. There we go. That looks better. Not 100% sure. About what about her anatomy lets her have a butt like that, but I think I don't necessarily care. She deserves to have a butt. Let's go ahead and do about this. No, hang on, that's the wrong layer. There we go. That's a little bit larger. grab some. Go ahead and say this is like the prize counter where you redeem your tickets. I guess, but where the prize counter would have to have like the little thingy in front, right? Like the front part of it being like glass, so you could see all of the like ring pops and stuff that you are going to waste your money on. Well, that's fine, we can do that. I'm not going to go heavy into that, I'm just going to imply them. There we go. There we go. This was a nice date night until Charleston started throwing shit directly at the skee ball machine. It is now a less nice date night. Their relationship is such that this image is like 4 seconds away from like Tabitha taking one of her skee balls and throwing it at their head. I don't like this one. We're going to check that. That is export. Skee ball. And just go ahead and grab and go yogurt into a new one. Who do I want to do next? I want to do Virgil. I haven't thought about Virgil in forever. Let's go ahead and do that. I think for Virgil, I'm going to need to rotate this canvas, so let's go ahead and do that. Is that what this button does? No, that fucks around with the size, I think. Image, nope, stop that. Image. Rotate 90, that needs to be a portrait, not a landscape. So you need to be on the deck of the ship. So Virgil is a character from a D&D campaign from like when we were in high school. Or maybe we were just out? I think we were just out of high school. And we had a DM who was very kind and actually quite a good DM. But the the thing that, looking back on it now, we go, ooh, maybe, is that they were a little bit too permissive and just kind of let us do all the things, regardless of how absolutely broken it would make the game and the system. This was the GM that let our friend use monk abilities with a quarterstaff. Monk's unarmed abilities with a quarterstaff, thus leading them to absolutely tank a Solar Angel in like 3 rounds. But it's hard to be too down on him because he did let me get away with this bullshit, which was our character was a kid that had run away from the circus. Because we had started that campaign with a different character. They were a Hexblade, I think. We didn't actually enjoy playing them, and we're like, hey, can we can we just make a new character? And he was like, yeah, sure, give me something. And what we came up with was like the reason that a new character is joining the party is because the heroes had come through town and they had seen them and wanted to go do heroing with them. It was like themselves a teenager or maybe like 20 or something. But they were an incredible juggler. And how they got themselves invited to the party when basically anyone should have just looked at them and gone, hey, no, you are a child. You do not need to go fight the demon army with us. Was just kind of stowing away on their ship and just juggling knives and then throwing the juggled knives so hard that they would just stuck into the mast of the ship, completely immovable. Let me make you a little thinner than this. That's not how I do that. That's still not how I do that. There we go. I'm trying to use the buttons on the blue. Okay, well. I did say erase, and that's what you did. I've done all of this on one layer. You shouldn't do that. There's that layer. And go ahead and make a second layer to put Virgil on. Most of the humans I draw have the same basic shape. They're like this. red sparkly jacket because you were... Huh. Oh. I'm noticing a pattern in the way that I have designed characters, so that's good. Give you a little bit more of this then. Yeah, that's kind of like pants. I kind of just want to make you larger overall. I can do that, right? Grab the resize tool and just resize you. Layer. More layer. If you see a layer, say a layer. Yeah, that's going to make you look older than you should, I think, a little bit, but that's okay. And now I'm sitting here, because I've literally never done it before, trying to think about what positions arms need to be in to juggle. Let's again just bring up some reference real quick. Juggling. No, I still don't want your AI overview. Never do I want that. Kind of looks like one hand up, one hand down. That's fine. And little arm. A little too much arm. I'm so bad at limbs. I'm so bad at limbs and knowing about where they go and how long they are. Limbs are a mystery to me. Let's take that down just a little bit. That's really blending in with the... That's really blending in with the wood of the ship. I need to do something else with that. Forward on being like that's just a little bit better. I got my donuts and milk. That is wonderful. What kind of donuts are they? Those hands are just kind of gonna be mittens. And I have to be okay with that in and of myself. You were blonde, because so were we at the time. You had a ponytail, actually. Yeah, because you didn't want your... You didn't want the eyes... You didn't want your eyes being covered while you were juggling knives. Yeah. Also, it was like sort of wish fulfillment for us at the time. No, that doesn't look how ponytails look. Oh, more like that. More like that. More like that. More like that. Glazed donuts in the Krispy Kreme style. That's a pretty good donut. From no, that's not a... I just thought about like 3 different things, and then went, no, none of those things are the things. I understand that was not a helpful sentence. You are looking up. Because that's where the knives are. Let's give you, like... That's not going to be visible, like, at all. Trying to figure out some way to put, like, spanglies on the vest, but I just don't think that's going to happen. Fuck it then, knives. Not like that. About to catch this one. Just released that one. I think 4 is 4 a good number of knives to be juggling. I think in the actual campaign it was much more along the lines of like 5. I want to draw 5. Let's just have these. Yeah, that's about what knives look like. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Glad I remembered you. put some cloudies in the sky. And some wavies on the ocean. So I'm trying to differentiate the parts of the boat now. I don't think I need to do too much. And so it looks a little less flat to me. There you go. I think with boats being what they are, there should probably be like a mast or something in this general vicinity, but I am not going to draw it. I kind of want to draw Winid. So I'm going to, because fuck it, I'm just doing shit for me tonight. But that's going to be in a minute. I'm going to take a little bit of a break first. Before we go to the break, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that Black Lives Matter, that Indigenous lives and lands matter, the lives of people of color matter, that Ukrainian, Palestinian, Congolese, Sudanese lives matter. There are many ways to stand in solidarity with your fellow travelers upon this earth, but we like pushing for direct mutual aid, as it helps people who are suffering right now suffer less, and people who are suffering less can stand next to us just that little bit taller. So on the break, I'm going to go to my social media and check out the mutual aid hashtag there and boost what needs I can. I suggest that you take a look around at mutual aid opportunities that exist in places where you operate, because the only way we get out of this is through, and the only way we get through this is together. And in the meantime, maybe do a stretch, or have a snack, or drink a drink, and do whatever self-care is useful to you. I'll do the same, and I'll catch you back here in just a little while. I'll see you then. Hey, I'm back. I brought up a random Wikipedia page, which is apparently of Eddie Clarice. Edouard Clarice, a retired badminton player. Who participated 3 times in the Olympic Games at Barcelona, Atlanta, and Sydney, and apparently did not medal in any of them. Not that that is the fucking Olympics are going right now. And it's one of those things where the Winter Olympics, it's one of those things where the more I used to like the Olympics as a thing, and then the more I learn about them, the less enamored with them I am. Did take a number of medals, even some gold medals, at the All Africa Games and African Championships, however. So good for Edouard. So here's the thing. I'm going to take just a second to finish this mocha that I got for myself on the break. And I do not know if I want to draw another portrait, actually. So, especially like the one that I have in my head to draw is of a character that has very, very specific and intricate armor, and I don't feel like I'm necessarily up to that right now. So, hey, if there are suggestions in chat from you, Lucretia, or you, Fib, or anyone else who may be sitting in, pop that to me. I'm just gonna finish this drink real quick. It continues to not be a fantastic idea to drink a mocha at 4 p.m. or 10 p.m. But that doesn't necessarily stop me. Gonna bring up a new one of them. New canvas. Would you draw a hyena enjoying an egg? The arm is willing, but the knowledge of what a hyena looks like is weak. I'll give it a shot. Going to, I think, draw a four-legged hyena. In fact, I know exactly how I want this to look, even though it's going to be odd. So let's grab like a mid-gray. Yes, about like this. About like this. Yeah. Make that bigger. Oh, that was all one stroke, was it? Yep. 7. Bring him here. This. Actually, go ahead and do this way. A little bit of a darker color for the curb. And go back over this because I hit the lines wrong. That's okay. You do lines wrong sometimes. Like this, and this is going to be a fence back here, so we're drawing some sort of part of a street, but it's not a street. So here's the thing. This is something that happened to us about, oh, I don't even know if I can put a number on that. It was some number of months ago. We went out to the fucking trash, the dumpsters, the trash dumpsters. We went out to the trash dumpsters. Because we needed to take the trash out. It's just like that. You do that at the dumpster. We went out to the trash dumpsters. And there was at the trash dumpsters just a preponderance of eggs. We're not really sure why. I think someone had just upturned 3 cartons of eggs in front of the rubbish skip that people throw their large garbage into. Large garbage has been dead for years, by the way. So I think I want to do that. I'm going to go ahead and grab you. That's going to go way up, causing me to question why I put the effort into putting the background there. And further, why I bothered to draw that back wall of the garbage can when I'm just going to cover that up too with the front wall, the one that's actually visible. I will tell you that the answer is process and perspective, but I understand that is not satisfying response. Oh, no, down. There we go. Goes up like that. You need to see that that's a... That looks like okay. Anyway. And over here we have egg. Shells of egg. Actually, the easier way to do this is like this. Grab the yellow actually no, not yellow, right? It needs to be the sort of albumen first. Drenched in albumen and attempting to stand. Kind of in a little bit more than that. Here we go. Doing this way with the opacity, maybe I can layer over and have it. Looks like it's got a little bit of depth, so good. The opacity back and give it like a few the yolks in there. These are the yolks. Cross between an elephant and a rhino. Elephino. So here are the eggs. Let's look and see what the fuck a hyena looks like. I have an image in my mind of what a hyena is. And yeah, it's about like that. Hyenas are like categorically cats, and that fucks me up when I think about it. Grab a... That's gonna be... Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that color there, and I'm just gonna go ahead and make that whole back fence darker so that I can have the hyena be lighter in front of it. Be able to pop more, otherwise it's just gonna blend in. There we go. That makes it look more like a fence and not a wallpaper of some kind. Got a little grass under it. The gap in the fence. It's actually going to help that even more is if I take one of these like this and I turn that into a post. This needs cross beams. Put another one like just over here. And the cross beam is going to have a skew on shuttle. I don't know. Well, that's just totally kind of tape of trouble. No, that's all. I expect kind of Spanish Inquisition. Here we go. It's going to be very thin cross beam about like that. Am I avoiding drawing the hyena? I wouldn't say avoiding. It's gonna happen. It's just that I did such a good job with this garbage thing over here that I actually wanted to make the rest of the thing actually look like kind of okay, so that it looked like it fit. All that's out of the way now. We're gonna get into... No, thank you. Actually gonna get into drawing this hyena. So, hyena's head is down. When the eggs were out, at the garbage can earlier when I was telling that story, there wasn't a hyena eating the eggs. And I feel like I should say that. I don't live in an area where there are hyenas. kind of like straight up curve, huh? That's kind of it. This is kind of it. This is almost it. Kind of a haunch. I'm gonna darken the thing so it can give you that back leg haunch. Kind of, no shit. I don't actually know the name of this kind of leg. The leg that goes back and then down. I want to say digitigrade, but I think that's something else. Then the front legs are just kind of front legs. This is not going to be great. I mean, I don't think. Plantigrade. Sorry, it is digitigrade. Oh, good. Had it right. That's what I get for doubting myself. Tag yourself. Are you a plant or a digit? They're sort of like pointed. That? No, they're rounder than that. Yeah, the exterior is a loop, and then the interior does a... There we go, like that. kind of well, it just smelled like small, kind of small. There's not going to be a lot that I think is going to, short version, distinguish this hyena from a dog. I'm sorry about that. That's entirely an issue with me as an artist. Giving you the fruffled back probably help a little bit. Well, not quite that fruffled. There we go. It's a little more fruffled. Putting in the spots is going to help when I get the spots in. Where are they? Some feet are like much more. Oh, that's helping. Have like little spots. Do they kind of just go all the way across the... Yeah, they go all the way across the... That'll help give the legs a little bit more continuity too. On the back of the head, but not really the neck. At least the ones I'm seeing. The back legs too? Yeah, the front of the back legs. And of course we need the tongue. Oop. Well, not like that. There we go. So this isn't very good, a hyena. But I think I met the brief. I was about to say I don't live, I'd said earlier that I don't live in areas where hyenas are, which is not technically speaking true because there's a zoo nearby. But I don't think you get them even in natural areas in Oklahoma. I could be wrong. Hang on. Let's just fucking look it up. Hyena. Oh, can you not see that? Oh, you can. It's just small because I have the thing being very small. Hyena habitat. No, I still don't. Why aren't you on DuckDuckGo? You should be on DuckDuckGo, and I don't know why you're not. Yeah, not naturally occurring in the Where the fuck is this name? North America. Oh, hang on, I forgot like an important part of this. Let's get eggshells. You can just have these eggs having been cracked and then there's not like shell in there. There's shell in there. I wish I knew what fucking caused that on this. Otherwise, quite nice tablet. Or if it's the tablet, or if maybe it's the an issue with the stylus. The way that sometimes it'll just like put a big line going off into nowhere for no reason. Spots on that leg too, and this one while I'm thinking about it. Here we go. Let me do a little bit of cleanup work. Otherwise I'm gonna have feelings about how it looks. Like that, just get those lines off of there. That is overwhelming the hyena because I made a whole new layer for the hyena to be on and then did not put the hyena on that layer. So it's all on the one background layer. That's fine, I guess. I didn't really use it for anything. Yeah. This is nice. I have feelings about the way this biology looks, but, you know, I'm bad at that generally. So, I think I did about as well as I was going to. Is there anything else I want to draw? You know what? Fuck it. I kept meaning to draw my orb, like, for the last couple of weeks, but I'm right here and I have the thing in front of me. Let's go ahead and draw my orb. Nope, not open. I didn't want you to open the thing. No. Grab, I don't know, just the texture. That's what I generally use for my, very, very personal art. I don't know why. Something about a square canvas, just like puts me in a place. I'll do it like this. Okay, about like that. Wait, don't pick the pure black. Let's just go very dark. So let's put that on a whole new layer. How do I do that? That's not important. How big do I want it to be? Pretty big. Like, pretty big? Bigger than that? No. Yes. Okay. Fill this in completely. This should be darker than this, I think, actually. Yeah, okay. I like that. Now we grab our yellow, because of course it's yellow. Actually, let's do that. Just sort of give texture to that, because otherwise it's not going to look like it's round. Well, oh, hey, content warning. I'm about to draw a shit ton of eyes in this fucking orb. So, hey, to be forewarned. Oh, I didn't see you, post. Sorry about that. Hi, Green Spider-Man. I've been doing some self-indulgent art, and I am finishing that up by drawing my orb. This is something that Freya and I were talking about on a stream a couple of months back. The idea of taking imagining your energy as an orb in your hand. There are other names for an exercise like that, but this is how I prefer to think of it. This is kind of a self-expression and visualization thing. And like I said, I've been meaning to for a while, and so I'm doing that right now. Let's make this one large. some different shapes too. That's all about it. Something that I think I talked about a little bit, like at on that couple of months ago stream while I was playing Silk Song at the time. We used to have like a really big problem with like eyeball imagery. And we have that a lot less now. And a not insignificant part of me thinks that I'm the reason for that. Because it kind of stopped being that big of a problem, like, as of a couple of years ago, which is not inconsistent when I, like, first emerged out of the system. Here come the pupils, by the way. There are ways in which I think I've been a good influence on us as a collective. There are other ways I've been a lot worse. But I like to think this is a positive. That way. Yeah. This is one of the ways I view as a positive. Like there we go. One more down here. And I think like another one right here, then we'll be done. Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good orb. Gonna just this. So it's clear that's a reflection. Okay, great. I finally got that fucking thing done. So yeah, that one goes in the other. Nope, no, don't open. Please save. I have another one, I think, just for orbs. No, there's. Riley did Riley's orb a while ago. It unsurprisingly looks like a baseball with unbelievably crazed stitching. That's slightly on fire. That's not surprising to us, who know Riley sort of well. But yeah, this is the, maybe I shouldn't have that be the thing where we're just leaving on as I do the outro. That's gonna be the stream. I'm just gonna call it here. Thank you so much, everyone, for popping in. Appreciate having you. Thank you to anyone who watches this as a VOD, because I know there's some of you. I'm not here to call you out, but I see the view markers. Hope that you have a lovely time watching this. I hope you're having a good day in the time and space you occupy. I've been Rummy. So, hey, let's talk about the next stream, because I lied on Friday. Friday I said I was going to do an art stream tonight, which I did, and then on Friday I would start the Magic Circle. And it turns out I'm not going to do that, because I thought that I owned the Magic Circle, and it turns out I don't, actually. So that's something that's going to be on the back burner until I can actually get it, which will probably be in a month or so. In the meantime, I'm going to start a game. I'm not going to be escaping the you only like fucking Metroidvania allegations, because it's going to be Dandara. Which is, again, a game I haven't played in a long time. It is a Metroidvania. I'm excited to jump into that. So that's going to be starting Friday, and then I'll be doing that for a little while. And then either I'll start Magic Circle or I'll skip it back over to September. We'll see how long it goes, because I took fucking over 50 weeks with Silksong. So I kind of feel like the streaming time hasn't been balanced, but that's okay. In the meantime, again, thank you, Lucretia. Thanks, Fib. Thanks, Green Spiderman, for dropping in. Love you. I want you to stay alive. I hope you have a good night.